So guys, I have this on a mount. So what I'm gonna do is I'm holding the door up so the shock can be fully extended. I'm using like the end of a broomstick to hold it up. There's no broom attached to it. It's just the stick itself, so it can be properly stable. I'll show you guys right now. Take this off the mount. So you can see right there. And it's holding up the door right there. So the shock can be fully extended because the new shocks, they're so strong and they're already extended. So you have to install extended. You can't use your own force to push it down, and it's gonna be really difficult. So that's the way you gotta replace them. So that's how I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna keep this camera over here on this mount so I can just record myself doing it, and I'll explain the steps. So I'll show you guys over here. It's kind of tight, but over there, that little trim piece is held on by a screw, and the other trim pieces I'll show as I'm gonna remove it. But as I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna really talk. I'm just gonna remove stuff and try to figure this out on my own because like my first time doing it. But this is one of the biggest steps I really want to do for these doors because the owner provided me with these new struts for the doors, and he's saying that they're much more higher quality than the OEM ones, and they're much stronger too. So you get to leave the doors up, barely any force. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to leave the camera over there and have it record. I know I said I was going to record on the tripod, but I forgot. So your boy just played himself. So I said I know I'm not going to talk or anything in the video, but I'm going to have to explain what's going on here. So, as you guys already know, it's being held by that. Now this is a rubber end, so it's not going to scratch, and that's a metal end, so it's really tucked under there. And you guys got to be very careful because the door's super heavy. So, come around here, and we can see this is a Phillips head screwdriver. Now I loosened up everything just so I can get a good glimpse of how everything comes out and how everything is, because this is my first time doing it, especially on a car with butterfly doors. So it's coming out, and this is like snapped into place. You could see snaps into place. This just pops right off, so you got pop it off from the top and it'll come right off. So that's that. These are already loosened. These are both 12 millimeter bolts. So yeah, these are both 12 millimeter bolts. I had to grab my little ratchet. So I would suggest having a long extension, because if you just have the socket right there, it won't reach this one. It will reach this one, but not this one. So I'll just unbolt it right now. Now remember, you gotta make sure this is securely held in place, the whole door, because this thing is heavy, and if it falls on you, man, that is not gonna be a happy sight. So these will come off, and I suggest just putting it right here so you won't have to lose them. And this just comes right off, and you can just clean this area because it will be crammed with a lot of dirt. I just wiped it off and stuff. It's not perfect because, you know, I don't need it to be that perfect, but it was a lot of crud in there, so I did vacuum out in there. Alright, so now we're going to come around here, and I'm going to lay down on my little floor mat I have so we can see under here. And under here, I don't know if you guys can see that, that's a 17 millimeter nut. So with that 17 millimeter, you need an open-ended wrench, and that's when you start. Like I said, I already loosened it, so it's not that tight. So it should just come off. I mean, I tightened it a little bit, but you know, I shouldn't have done that much, but for science. Hope this doesn't fall. Alright, so that just comes right off. Now the thing is, this is very finicky. This little hole right here, it's kind of finicky because you gotta align it like literally like precisely with it. Because if you try to align it on there, if you just go straight on, or you gotta like have it the right direction. Because if you go straight on, it's gonna keep on turning. It's not gonna do anything. So it's gonna have a biting point. So when you keep on turning it, and you just gotta like move your hand around and stuff, and then eventually it'll bite on there. So let me get this out of the way. So I'm not going to really show installation because installation is basically the reverse order. It's super simple, but what I would tell you guys right now is make sure you guys put the right struts in the right location, because the driver's side door opens up more than the passenger side door, and the driver's side strut is stronger than the passenger side strut because the driver's side door has more electronics and all that keeping it up, and the passenger side door doesn't need to be that much opened. I don't know if you guys seen other videos of Sera reviews, but the driver needs more room to get inside the car because the steering wheel is in the way, while the passenger can just slip on by. It's like not that big of a difference, but it does, for the driver's side, it does make a difference because you need as much room as possible to get in there. But yeah, that's just one thing. And then another thing is, I already swapped it over, but you can see right here on this end, it's a 12 millimeter nut. So you got to remove that first before you take this out of its place. Because if you don't, you can do it right now, but I feel it's as if it's going to be a harder task to remove it while it's outside of the car. You could just put the wrench right there and then remove it, but while it's solid on the car, you can just remove it much easier than finick around with this. But yeah, I swapped this over, so you can see this is the old one of the old ones, and you see it was held on by thread locker. I put a little bit of blue thread locker on there because this one had it, and I removed it, swapped it over. And this thing came with the bushing, and it has bushings all over. These are the factory ones. This doesn't come with it, which I wish it did, but I believe it should be good. So yeah, that's the removal of it. Installation is basically reverse order, and yeah, that's how you remove the strut out of a Toyota Sera. You guys enjoy this video, and there's no videos on Toyota Sera, so I will try to make some more videos. Yeah guys, take it easy.